What is up? Happy Halloween, mother... I'm just kidding. You guys are all probably wondering, is he gonna say it? Is the Christian boy gonna say the F word on YouTube Live? Well, today's F word is financial freedom. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Today's two F words is not the F word we're all thinking of. It's financial freedom. Which in many ways, since it's Halloween and the theme is being scared, it seems like a lot of people are being scared to become financially free because there's only 8 people on this live stream right now. Therefore, everybody else is afraid of financial freedom. So the 8 of you guys that are here, congratulations, right? But it seems like the more I do this real estate thing, the less and less people become serious about actually doing it, right? It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Okay, guys, so welcome to, all jokes aside, to the weekly Monday morning, 11 a.m. Central Time here in Warrenville, Illinois, in the United States of America, on planet Earth, in this galaxy, not too far away. Welcome, guys, to a weekly real estate investing live YouTube live question and answer time in which you guys have an opportunity to ask me any real estate investing question that you want. I will answer it for you here as a real estate practitioner and expert. A couple things that we've got going on here, right? A couple dishes and plates that we're eating off of. Every week I've been doing this thing where our viewers, you guys, tell me where you are from, or you tell me where you even doing deals. And I'll give you guys my opinion on that market based on what I'm seeing right now. And also, we're doing another thing where, if you have a specific strategy that you want to get my thoughts on, that's something that I thought about too on the drive over here. Is like, you know what? I always give an opportunity for people to ask me about certain places, but I don't give an opportunity for people to ask me about certain strategies. So, there's a lot of different real estate investing strategies out there, and I'll give you my thoughts on them, right? What do I think about that strategy based on today's market, what's happening right now in the real estate arena, and also that particular market where you're trying to do that strategy in. So any guys, any real estate investing questions, shoot them off for me. Let's knock off some couple announcements while the questions do come in. Of course, as always, guys, we're offering our free owner financing course. It's freeownerfinancingcourse.com. And also very happy to announce that we are we actually released this past week a project that I've been working on the last couple months. Actually, no, I didn't work on it that long. I don't care about you guys that much. We both know that, right? So I've been working on it for actually, yes, the past couple months, because I do care, right? And I actually compiled a workbook. So it's a real estate investing practice workbook. My very good friend, actually one of my best friends, one of my brothers, Ricardo Montez, recommended the idea to me, right? And he says, hey, why don't you send out a workbook? Because one of the things I've done a lot the last 3 to 4 years is a lot of masterminds. I've ran a lot of masterminds before, whether they're free, paid, whether I got asked to be a speaker, whatever it may be. I've ran a lot of different masterminds. The smallest mastermind I ever ran was a meetup group, one of my own meetup groups, and I think we had 8 people, right? We had just 8 people. And I love smaller mastermind groups just because, I feel like I give more of myself when there's less and less people. I don't know why. There's something about a smaller group in which it incentivizes me to give my best material away. But I love smaller groups. But it's not that I don't give any of that stuff in a larger group, but it's more intimate. I get more feedback from the 8 people. The largest mastermind I ever ran was probably closer to around 200-300 people. Right, and at that point, it was just a speaking engagement. But when it's 200-300 people, you have people that are less likely to respond to you, right? Less feedback. It's less of a conversation. I think people get a little bit more intimidated to ask questions and say certain things if it's a larger group of people. So, I know when it's 8 people, people are less afraid to ask questions, right? There's no such thing as a stupid question in that atmosphere, right? So if I have a group of 8 to 10 or 12 or even 20, right, I'll say, hey, Daniel, what do you mean when you say this, this, and this? And opposed to a crowd of 300, it's less likely going to happen. But, in my masterminds, and I've been told in my career that people love my masterminds, that they learn so much from them. In my masterminds, I implement a lot of simulations, exercises, role play, just a lot of hands-on, learning tools, like simulations, exercises, role play, whatever it may be, to help people learn. My style of coaching/teaching is I never try and just stand up in front of a room and just tell people what to do, right? That, for me, is very less interesting for me. One of my favorite things I like to do is not tell people what to do, but change who they are, because that's what real estate investing is all about. That's what entrepreneurship is all about. People try and do different things, but they try and stay the same person. It's not going to work, right? Those are the type of people they'll pay, $200 or $20,000 or $200,000 for a program and expect everything to be done for them. It doesn't work like that. They have to be focused. They have to be all in. They have to be willing to do whatever it takes. That's the type of mindset and person it takes to become successful. So I implement a lot of exercises, simulations, a lot of role play. And, there are a lot of times where if we have a group of 30, 40, 50, 60 people, which on average, what my masterminds usually are, they're usually between 20 to 50 people, kind of in that range. I'll bring one person to the front of the room and we'll kind of role play, right? And we'll break down, right? So I say, hey, let's pretend like you and I are having a conversation. Let's say you're the investor, I'm the seller, I'm selling you this building. Let's go ahead and have a conversation. And I'll break down the conversation, based on a lot of what I see in the real world, based on a lot of my negotiations I've done in the past. I'll break down certain things that he can do to, have the negotiation be more towards a resolution, right? So my boy Ricky kind of, we were talking and I was like, man, I feel like there's more I could do for the Kwak Brothers Nation, right? Not only just for our one-on-one clients, not only for our students that are in our Real Estate Accelerator program, but also for everybody, right? For all 50,000 plus people on our YouTube channel, for all 100,000 plus people in our Facebook groups, for everybody that comes to our meetups, the hundreds of people that comes to our meetups, the tens and hundreds of thousands of people in our email database. I feel like there's more I could do for them. And he's like, well, I've participated in a lot of different masterminds that you've done, and one of the best ways and some of the most fun times that we've had is when we did simulations, we did games, and we did exercises that helped us prepare for the real world, helped us prepare for the real world of real estate investing. And those were always the most effective, those were always the most fun, and those were always the ones that were most helpful for our real deals that we've done in the past. So I'm like, man, what if because it's going to be hard to get hundreds of thousands of people in one mastermind, right? Even if it's virtual, right? It's hard to do that. And I'm the type of guy that I like including people. I'm a very inclusive type of guy. I love throwing parties and just, overall bringing people together and having a fun time. So, he gave me the idea, my boy Ricky gave me the idea of, hey, what if you created a workbook, and it doesn't have to be crazy long, right? It doesn't have to be like 100 pages, but it should be long enough to where you can engage people. And you could throw out simulations and exercises in which people can actually look at some deals that you've done in the past and actually figure out the numbers, actually try and see what they would do in that situation, and have it just be practical where people can learn by doing instead of just hearing or seeing. They can actually learn by doing. So I created a workbook. It's around 40 to 60 pages, kind of right there in that middle. I think it's perfect. And I include in there simulations, exercises, everything from single family, fix and flip and buy and hold, all the way to apartments. And guys, I include deals in there that I've actually done in the past, deals that I've actually looked at, underwrote, raised money for. Some deals I've done in real life are going to be in there. So I'm super excited, right? The answers and explanations, of course, are in the back of the worksheet. And, there's sections in there, right? And I sprinkle a lot of my knowledge and experience, in between the exercises. But guys, I'm just really proud of what, myself, right, as the author of the book, and the rest of my team, Sam, who, worked on the operations, our team of VAs who made it look pretty, because let's be real, I'm not very good at making things look pretty and organized. And our sales team who are responsible for getting this out, and our operations and marketing department, and overall, guys, at the end of the day, I don't care if it goes out to 5 people. I don't care if it goes out to 500,000 people, to 5 billion people. Guys, I don't care. I don't care who this gets out to. But overall, I'm just really happy. I'm just really proud of what we put together, because it's genuinely a tool that's going to help people take their real estate investing and financial game to the next level. So that's something that I'm really, really excited about. So I don't know what the link is to get the free workbook. I know we sent it out via email. But if you want access to this workbook, guys, I know I'm done talking enough about it. If you guys want access to this workbook, guys, please email me at info@thekwakbrothers.com with the subject line, free workbook, right? So just put in your name, and obviously we'll have your email at that point because you're sending us the email. But put in your name, and just kind of write in the body, right? Like, hey, I'd love to get access to Daniel's free workbook that he was talking about on the YouTube live, right? So if you guys want access to that, guys, email me at info@thekwakbrothers.com. I'll go ahead and write our email here for you guys. There we go. So it's info at the Kwak Brothers, and then that's KWAK, because I know sometimes a lot of people have trouble spelling out our last name. I wish it was simple, guys. I wish it was just like Johnson, like I wish it was something Smith, right? But you guys would probably not believe me if I told you my last name was Smith, because because I look Asian, I look really Asian, and I feel bad for my wife, right? My wife's last name formerly was Miotti, which is like a really cool Italian name because she is Italian, but now it's Kwak. Man, that's just really sad, really, really sad. All right, so info@thekwakbrothers.com, guys. Put in the subject line, free workbook. Put in the body, like, hey, my name is Deborah Smith, right? And I was on the YouTube. I would like access to Daniel's free workbook. Even if you just kind of put in the subject line, free workbook, we'll kind of know what we're talking about. So if you guys want access to that, feel free to email us at info@thekwakbrothers. We'll give it out to you guys. And as always, guys, this video was brought to you guys by PropStream. And of course, you guys already know what I feel about PropStream. My opinion, the most accurate real estate investing software out there to get leads. I think everybody should use it. Wholesalers, buying holders, flippers, any entrepreneur that has any interest in real estate, you should get PropStream. It's the cheapest real estate investing software that I've ever seen. And it's also the most accurate, right? And having been in this industry, I've used a lot of different real estate investing softwares, and this one by far the cheapest, most accurate, most bang for your buck. There's second to none, right? And that's the only reason why we're even talking about it right now, is because they deserve it. They deserve that recognition. So if you guys want to check that software out, click in the link in the description below. We do have a PropStream link. It should be in the video. It should be below me or somewhere, something like that. But it's in the description, nevertheless. So feel free to check that out. It's to my left, to my right. So I'm gonna stroke the sign. All right. So guys, please go to PropStream. Right. It should be reisoftware.thekwakbrothers.com, I think. Right. I'm gonna look really stupid if I'm wrong. Right. And if I'm padding the other way, I'm gonna look like I have dementia. Right. Or schizophrenia, whatever you learn in psych class. All right, guys, let's get to the questions. All right, Deborah McGee. Hello, shout out from Fieri, California. Fun fact, that's where Guy Fieri is from. I'm fairly new, trying to find what works best for me. I started in my marketplace. It's been stuff because I'm still trying to figure out strategies that work. I'm going to assume you mean tough, right? So Deborah, oh, there you go. You added more. I'm trying to find deals in other markets because my market leads get hits from other states. I don't have a team or help, so I'm trying to get help. What the best way to get connection in other states? How to guard against revealing the details of a deal that is not under contract in other states. I have PropStream. Trying to learn best how to use it. Okay, so I get these questions a lot, Deborah. You are very similar to a lot of people that I come across. And usually the question is, hey, Daniel, I love you. You're awesome. You're so handsome. You know, I worship you. No, don't worship me. Worship Jesus, right? Shout out to Kanye for that new album, right? It's Kanye, if you're watching this, because I know you are, love the new music, man. But usually the question goes, Daniel, I'm new. I'm trying to figure this whole thing out. I've dabbled in some stuff in the form of, software, in the form of looking at deals, in the form of attending a few meetups. So they dabbled, right? They stuck their toe in the water. It's a little wet, right? And they're pretty much saying, Daniel, what do I do, right? I always say activity brings more activity, right? What do I mean by that? And that is the quote of the day, right? Activity always brings more activity, right? The reason why people don't know what to do or they feel stuck is for the same reason. They don't have momentum. How do we get momentum? We get momentum through activity. Well, what type of activity, right? You're probably looking at the screen right now and be like, hey, idiot, I'm already asking you what activity I should bring on. Okay, so how do we increase the quality of our activity? Guys, life is so much more simple than what I make it out to be. That's something that I'm learning right now in my 20s, my mid-20s, that life really is just simple. If you want something, go get it. You want something done, go do it. You want to be somebody, go be it, right? Life is so much more simpler than what we make it. So activity brings on momentum, right? So we've got success, and every single one of you guys are on this live stream because you want success, right? You wouldn't be here. If you were already successful, you wouldn't be here. You'd be on a beach in Kauai, Hawaii, with a Rolls Royce parked in the parking lot, with $1 million in your bank account, and with a bunch of different attractive people of the opposite gender, non-binary identification codes, whatever, right? Whatever we say in 2019. That's what success, right? But you guys are here because you want to change something, right? You're not happy with your bank account. You're not happy with the amount of time you actually have to live life. So success is brought on by momentum. Momentum isn't only brought on by activity, and the right activity is brought on through what we do with our time. Now, what do I mean by that activity aspect? Well, it's like any other thing, right? So picture this for a second, guys. My favorite sport, right? My favorite sport of all time is basketball. I love basketball. And for all of you guys that know me really, really well, you guys will know that one of my biggest dreams in life is to be the owner of the Chicago Bulls, right? And I love basketball. I played in high school. I still play a lot of pickup today, right? But let's talk about that word activity, right? The goal, right, we're going to reverse engineer. Success is having more points than the other team at the end, right? That's how most games and athletic competitions are won, right? Besides golf, right? Which is the smaller the number, the better, right? But that's success. That's victory. Okay, how do we get to the point where we have more points than the other team? Is a lot of basketball relies on momentum, right? A lot of times if you guys watch a game, whenever you see the other team go on a run, right, which means that they've got the momentum on their side, the other team calls a timeout because they want to stop that momentum and they want to create their own momentum, right? So that's how they win. So how does that momentum happen? It starts with activity. Okay, so how does that activity happen? Well, that momentum in the game of basketball, it starts with ball movement, right? It starts with good shots, right? The momentum, and you don't win games by having one guy shoot over 3 defenders. That doesn't happen, right? The victory comes with talent, right? It comes with teamwork, right? So good ball move. It comes with controlling the pace of the game. That's super important, right? Whether you're like a team that always pushes the ball or you're a team that slows the ball down and relies on ball movement and play calling, right? Whatever it may be. It comes with a lot of different aspects. Well, a lot of real estate investors, what they don't know is what they don't know. They don't know how to do deals. They don't know how to raise capital, how to analyze the deal, how to network. They don't know how to recruit certain people, how to read markets, how to negotiate owner financing. I think you guys kind of get the picture. And that's a lot like a basketball team going to play against a team, but they don't know how to move the ball. They don't know how to dribble. They don't know how to shoot. They don't know how to call the right plays. They don't know how to defend properly, right? They don't know how to do a lot of things. So what do you have to do, right? A basketball team's got to what? They've got to practice, right? They got to practice not only with themselves in terms of the fundamentals on how to shoot, how to dribble, how to pass, how to defend, but they got to practice as a team, right? There's team practices. It doesn't matter how good you are, you got to practice as a team, right? The 1992 Olympic team, right, with Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and Clyde Drexler and Hakeem, right? These guys lost to a bunch of college players because they didn't know how to play as a team yet. So what do you guys have to do? What is my ultimate message to get the best type of activity, to get the momentum, to get the success? You got to educate yourself, right? We too have to put in the time, the effort to learning our craft, right? Just like a basketball player will learn how to properly shoot, dribble, pass, defend, read the defenses, and just like, and my second favorite sport is fighting. I love fighting, right? I've been doing martial arts my whole life, and just like a fighter is going to learn how to throw a proper jab, right, with the knuckles straight, and make sure you don't extend the body, you level the weight and the balance, and you shift the weight properly. Just like how a boxer or a wrestler, grappler, or fighter is going to learn the fundamentals on how to properly strike, we as real estate investors, we've got to educate ourselves on how to do the same thing, right? So Deborah, to answer your question, my advice to you would be get educated, right? Focus, learn on being a better real estate investor than trying to find the best real estate deal, than trying to find the best real estate market. There's too many people trying to do that. Too many people trying to find the best real estate deal, the best real estate market, and not enough people focusing on becoming the best real estate investor. We need more people of that. And that's something that I would attribute a lot of my success to is, guys, when I first started, I didn't even look for a deal the first 2.5 years, right? All I focused on, because this advice was given to me when I first started, was just focus on being the best real estate investor. Right? Just focus on learning, focus on being the best entrepreneur, best real estate entrepreneur that you can be, right? Just focus on that. And if you focus on that, everything else will fall into place, right? Just like how in basketball, if you focus on getting more points than the other team, right, everything else will fall into place, right? The defense, the offense, the transition, everything else is going to fall into place, right? It's simple as that. So Deborah, I hope I answered your question. Obviously, we have a lot of tools here at the Kwak Brothers to help you become a better real estate investor. I would first start at the free owner financing course, which I mentioned already in this live stream, and also the workbook, right? The workbook, another main reason why I created the workbook was because so many people were telling me, Daniel, I'm ready to do a deal. I'm ready to do a deal, right? Like, what do I have to do my first deal? What's, what can I do to find my first, and for me as a coach and as a teacher, it became really frustrating because I knew that a lot of the people who are telling me, Daniel, I'm ready to do my first deal. I don't care about education. I'm ready to do my first deal. Why would I pay $500 for a real estate education course when I could spend that $500 to do my first deal, right? I had a lot of people just tell me these things, and things that are really stupid, right? Like, if you're telling me that you're not willing to spend money to invest in yourself and you're trying to invest in something else, right? For me, that's just foolishness. Right? That's just plain foolishness, guys. Right? It really is. Take it from me, a guy who's been there, done that. Right? That's just foolishness. So for me, one of the reasons why I created the workbook is because I wanted to give these people telling me that they're ready to do the first deal this workbook, and I say, okay, if you can finish this workbook, without any struggle, you're ready to do your first deal, right? And that's true. I think if you can complete this workbook, right? For me, I created it as a test, right? Because I knew, guys, I absolutely knew that the people who are telling me, Daniel, I'm ready to do my first deal, almost 100% of those people were not. Why? Because if you're telling me that you're ready to do your first deal, you're not ready to do your first deal. Because if you're ready to do your first deal, right, it should happen automatically because you're already out there providing value to people in the marketplace that the deals should just come to you rather than you having to go out there and look for the deals, right? If you're out there, again, looking to add value in the marketplace, the opportunities will come. 100% believe that, right? All right, guys, so workbook, go ahead and check that out, right? Again, Deborah, again, to go back to your question, I would encourage you, get the free owner financing class, check out the workbook, and let's see where you stack up, right? Let's see if you're up to the task. And if not, I would take a good look at getting some education, right? I mean, whether that's on YouTube, whether that's my course, right? Because my job as a real estate investing educator is to put everything I've learned from all the other courses and my experience, put it together and offer the cheapest price I possibly can, right? So, Deborah, I'd encourage you to check that out. All right, let's go on to the other questions. When buying real estate in Illinois, do you guys have a broker on your team with the new knowledge? No, because you don't have to be a broker to buy real estate in Illinois. You have to have a license to wholesale. But I'm not a big wholesaler because I think personally wholesaling is not going to be as affluent in 4 to 5 years because of where the market's at right now. And plus, I'm a long-term type of guy. I hate giving away good deals. If it's a good deal, I'm just going to do it myself, right? Why would I wholesale it to somebody else and let them make the money, right? It just doesn't make sense, right? And plus, I'm a big long-term individual. So, 90% of what I do is buy and hold. 90%. Right, that's just who I am. Right, I'd rather do something that 40-year-old Daniel is gonna thank me for today, and then rather than do something that's gonna put food in my mouth right now. Right, because I already have a lot of other ways to do that. All right, thank you, Dave Silver, for that question. Jesus, I'm here to be a pain in the rear. What's going on, Jesus? So Jesus, guys, for those of you guys that don't know, Jesus is one of those guys where it's one of the names I continually see popping up in our live stream. So big props to Jesus for being an OG, right? That's funny. Daniel from Virginia. Hi, I'm from Virginia. So I'm about to close on my HELOC to implement your strategy to 1, get out of debt, 2, pay for my mortgage as fast as possible. Do I pay off the HELOC and keep withdrawing to other debts? Okay, so Daniel, I love you, man, especially because you have the same name, but Monday we usually cover real estate investing topics. Now, I know our channel, our most popular topic is the HELOC strategy, right? Like our most popular video. The one that's got I don't even check anymore, but I know it's got more than 3 million views. I know that's our most popular strategy. So Sammy, my brother, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Time, he does the same thing. He goes live on this YouTube channel, and he covers any questions about the HELOC strategy with paying off the debt. So I would highly encourage you to check that out, right? That's what I would highly, highly recommend you do. All right, next question. Man, my right arm is losing blood. All right, I have been learning what I don't know for 2 years, but I get people saying I'm in analysis paralysis. So I'm trying to take action steps. Cool, Deborah. So obviously it's the same girl. So, number one, yeah, true. A lot of people do get in analysis paralysis. I do know a lot of people. One of the things that have helped me, Deborah, absolutely and tremendously, is I did 2 things. Number one, I got a one-on-one coach, which if you're really serious about doing real estate investing, I highly recommend people get a one-on-one coach. And I know a lot of people they don't want to pay the money, but you know what? One day you're gonna come across somebody in the market who's going to be competing with you for a deal, and the fact that they have a one-on-one coach in their corner, it's gonna give them an absolute huge advantage. Absolutely huge, almost like an unfair advantage. It's like playing basketball, but you're allowed to have 10 players on the court instead of 5, right? Like it's going to be a huge, huge advantage for that person. So, Deborah, I'm just being honest and I'm being real with you. The best way that I was able to overcome analysis paralysis was by having a one-on-one coach, because that one-on-one coach was able to convert that knowledge that I had in my brain and transfer it to action steps. And he was able to do that because he had the experience, right? Because he did it himself. So I actually have multiple one-on-one coaches. I'm a big, firm believer in having a coach. Like even to this day, guys, I've been in real estate and I've been an entrepreneur for 7 years. I've built and created multi-million-dollar businesses. I've invested in millions of dollars worth of real estate as well. Guys, I still have a coach to this day, right? I pay a guy, I think, $10,000 to $15,000 a year, and I put him on retainer just to coach me, right? So even today, I still have a coach, you know. But in the beginning, I had multiple coaches. I'm a big proponent of that. Just like an athlete will have more than just one coach, right? Like let's take one of my favorite athletes, for example, Tom Brady. I love Tom Brady, not because he's a winner, but because he was picked 199th overall. Nobody believed in him. He was an underdog, and he was able to overcome all odds to become the greatest football player to ever grace the field, you know? And Tom Brady has more than just one coach, right? Like he's got Bill Belichick, his head coach, but, you know, you guys will agree with me when I say he probably has a strength and conditioning coach. He probably has a quarterback coach. He's got an offensive coordinator. He's got a nutritionist coach that helps him with his diet and exercise. He probably has a lifestyle coach. He probably also has a life coach in terms of helping him with his mindset, right? You know, in terms of being an athlete. He probably has a financial coach to help him, you know, manage the millions of dollars that he earns. All right, so I think you guys get the point, right? Tom Brady, he has multiple coaches. Same thing with any other great athlete. They have more than just one coach, right? So I'm a big advocate of having a one-on-one coach that could help you take knowledge into action steps. Another thing I did, Deborah, is I remember being a part of a lot of different networking events. You know, I would meet with different people on a weekly basis, and I would go up to every single one of those people and I would ask them, hey, you know, what's the number one problem in your business right now? And I would find ways to add value to people's businesses. And, you know, I find myself never really having to worry about analysis paralysis, you know, because I was in a situation where I had hundreds of people tell me what their number one problem was, what their greatest weaknesses was. And I also had a coach who can help me take advantage of that, you know. So it's pretty simple, very simple. All right. Let's do a deal together in Milwaukee. I have over 20 years experience in real estate, but I'm always interested in learning. Cool, Dennis Repetition, Miskowski. I know I've seen your name before, so yeah, absolutely send me some stuff. I'm very particular about who I work with. Matter of fact, I only have 3 partners that I partner with in real estate. And I'm the type of guy that as much as I love people, I like having a small inner circle, you know, that I do deals with and I do partner with. You know, same with my investors. A lot of my investors I love, you know, I would trust my life with them because I treat them well, you know, and these guys know, my investors know, and I'm not, you know, pitching or anything like that, guys, right? Like my investors know that I take care of them. You know, I stick my neck out for them time and time again, you know, and my investors, they love me for it, you know, and yeah, I do give more than what other real estate entrepreneurs will give, you know, but that's just who I am, right? Okay, but thanks for the shout out. I appreciate that. Deborah, should you just work with an attorney in Illinois because sellers are ready to sell there, prices are good there? Depends on where you are at in Illinois. Really depends. You and your brother sound so much alike. Yeah, that's because we're brothers. It'd be disturbing if we didn't sound alike, right? Like, what if I had like a different voice? Like, what if I sound like this? You know what I mean? Like, you guys wouldn't even listen to me. You know what I mean? I would just sound like a naggy, whiny, horrible person. I would sound like a liberal who's complaining that he's not getting $15 an hour and being replaced by machines, right? Right. Thankfully I don't sound like that, right? Yeah, I'm glad, you know, because that means we're related. That means my mom didn't cheat on my dad, right? Instead, they're, you know, a very God-loving Christian couple, thankfully. All right, I'm saving up for a coach now because I spent a lot of money with guru seminars, so I'm stuck paying the credit bill. Everything is costing money you don't have. Yeah, Deborah, 100% agree. I spent a lot of money too, right? Towards the beginning of my career, I think, in terms of what I've paid for, I think I'm up to like six figures in like terms of different seminars and gurus and programs that I spent. So I'm with you, sister, right? That's why I only charge $497 for my program, because it's everything you're gonna learn from those guys anyways and more that I charge for $497. I thought about charging like $20,000, but no, that's not who I am, right? But at the same time, like I used to coach people for free and teach people for free. That didn't work out either because nobody took it seriously because it was for free. So 500 is literally the most I can charge, with people taking it seriously, and the cheapest I can go in terms of what it's actually worth, right? Because, the more expensive something is, people do take it seriously, right? That's just a fact. That's human nature. As a non-resident, foreign national, I'm trying to figure out what I'll need for a contract for deed purchases if they agree. Pay taxes, utilities, and insurance. Okay, so if the seller agrees to pay the taxes, utilities, insurance, there's not a whole lot of incentive for them to do seller financing. Alexander, I would highly recommend you check out the free owner financing course, right? 90 minutes, best 90 minutes on owner financing that I've ever personally seen, because I'm a very naturally competitive person, and I want to be better than all the other people out there. All right, Dave Silver, laughing emoji. Thanks, Dave Silver. All right, Deborah, I have been on and tried all of your suggestions. Any suggestions on a coach in Illinois? Yeah, I live in Illinois. So if you want to reach out to me, email me at info@thekwakbrothers.com. And again, Deborah, I would highly suggest that you do the workbook. It was released merely a couple days ago, so I don't know if you're that quick on getting the workbook done, but if that's the case, you haven't tried all my suggestions. All right, Vidal Onyx, we spent a lot on coaching programs too. The Kwak educational program is the best program and the most value we've gotten so far. Wow, man, that means so much to me. Thank you so much, Vidal. I really appreciate that. Thank you for your kind words. And it encourages me, because it actually shows me that we do put out a good product, and that's what we want. We want people to walk out, being like, whoa, like that was amazing, Like I want you guys to have so many life-changing epiphanies with your career in our program. So thank you so much. That means so much to me, my team. Man, that's so awesome. Thank you so much. That I can't even express with words how much that means. So thank you so much. Deborah, would you purchase a property sight unseen? Google doesn't have no, I wouldn't do that. Deborah, again, I would highly recommend you check out the workbook. I would recommend that you, because Deborah, what I'm getting from you is a lot of uncertainty. It seems like you're very uncertain about a lot of things in the real estate investing game. You sound like a person who has bought a lot of different real estate investing programs, but that can also be a bad thing too, because you have so much information, you have so many different voices that are telling you what to do, that you're just so unsure of what you're trying to do. Best way to create clarity, in my opinion, is to, again, go out there into the marketplace and find ways where you can create value for other people. Ask people what's the number one problem you can solve right now. And number one, figure out if you're even in that position to be able to do that. Best way to do it, my suggestion again, is get the workbook. Go to the workbook. It's completely free. I'm not asking anything from you for it. Do the workbook, and if you do, great. If you don't struggle, awesome. You're in a position where you can go out there and add value. My recommendation, go to 3 networking events after, Deborah, after you complete the workbook, right? So after you complete the workbook and you go through it, no struggle, right, completely fine, then go out there and go to 3 networking events the next 7 days after you complete the workbook and ask minimum 20, 30 people, hey, what's the number one problem you have in your real estate investing business? And then look to solve those problems, right? And then find ways where you can monetize that process. That for you is going to clear up a lot of things, right? Because again, you have a lot of voices. And again, this is why I suggest to a lot of people, listen, as much as you want to gain a lot of information as much as possible, you also don't want to be in a position where, you have so many gurus that tell you. And again, guys, this is why I get so frustrated with so many other real estate investing online forums out there, because a lot of the strategies that they tell people are just flat out wrong. They're flat out dangerous, and they've hurt people. I've traveled across a lot of different cities training people on real estate investing. I've sat and I've stood in front of hundreds and thousands of people that have wanted to learn real estate. In every single city I go to, I've always had people tell me, Daniel, I bought a property, rehabbed it, stripped the equity, rented it, and I repeated the process, and I've lost everything because of it. And this is a strategy, again, I think you guys know what I'm talking about, where people just blur it out. It's the most popular real estate investing strategy out there, and people just say again and again how awesome this strategy is when it doesn't work every single year in a market cycle. If you look at a 10-year market cycle, this strategy does not work half the time. You have to have 5 or 6 years ahead of you of a bullish market for it to work. Otherwise, everything falls into shambles. And I've had time and time again, people tell me they've lost everything because they use this strategy. So a lot of voices out there, Deborah, I get it. It pisses me off too, that people will tell people certain things because they just want to make a quick buck, right? Because they tell everybody, this simple strategy will change your life. Yeah, it will change your life for the worse, right? 50% of the time. So I completely get, Deborah. I'm frustrated by the same thing too. You guys can probably hear it in my voice that I'm extremely frustrated, which is why I started an education program, because I wanted to teach people to do it the right way, right? Don't rely on a strategy. Don't rely on a market. Rely on you, right? You are the best thing to ever depend on at the end of the day. Not a strategy. It's the best thing you can do is invest in yourself, right? Don't focus on the right real estate strategy, right real estate market. Become the right real estate investor. Simple, right? Bigger Pockets won't tell you that. CNBC won't tell you that. Why? Because they're trying to sell you a product, right? Plain and simple, right? All right. I believe you guys have a great opportunity ahead of you. I know a couple of things that you can learn from me. Yeah, absolutely. Like Dennis, I honestly learn from everybody. I think I could learn from everybody on what to do, and I've also learned a lot of things from people in my life on what not to do. So yeah, man, 100% agree, right? The beauty of a mastermind is we all learn from each other. That's absolutely true. All right, can you make a future video about comparing best cities to invest in? I believe Milwaukee is one of the best. I think so too, man. I got to completely agree. I think Milwaukee is one of those cities that, a lot of people underestimate, but because it's in Wisconsin, it's because it's in the Midwest, it's not as sexy as like, a city in South, or a city in Florida, or the East Coast, West Coast. People kind of discredit it, right? So yeah, man, I completely agree with you. I think Milwaukee is one of the best places to invest in right now, especially with a lot of migration of population demographics. 100% agree. All right, guys. Ooh, I burped and said that at the same time. All right, guys. So any questions at all? Again, free owner financing course, all the stuff, link in the description below. PropStream, our new workbook, free owner financing course. And again, guys, if you have any questions for me, email me at info@thekwakbrothers.com. And with any questions that I've missed, please do, right? Please absolutely do email me. I love talking and chatting with you guys. It gives me an opportunity to learn. And guys, before you leave, please give this video a thumbs up, right? It really helps us and support us in terms of doing what we do. We try and push out the best content we possibly can, guys. So help us out, right? Help us help you. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. Again, guys, email me at info@thekwakbrothers.com with any questions I may have missed. I'm going to head to lunch because I'm starving. But anyways, I love you guys. Always praying for you. I'll see you guys next Monday.